37 Miraculous ways Thoth's supernatural activation revealed the divine truth of sacred healing. In the heart of a quaint English village, where rolling hills kissed the clouds, Mary had long held on to her faith like a treasured amulet. Little did she know that her life was teetering on the precipice of a divine intervention. Days turned into endless nights filled with hushed prayers for her son, David, who lay bedridden, his fragile body a mere shadow of the vibrant spirit he once was. Doctors had offered little hope, labeling him a hopeless cause. Yet Mary believed in St. Jude, that patron saint of lost causes, and she led her small prayer group at St. Michael's with unwavering devotion. One evening, as Mary turned the pages of an ancient text she found buried in her dusty attic, the words seemed to shimmer. Thoth, the Egyptian deity it read, is known for wisdom and healing. Her heart raced. Could this be what they needed? She could feel a supernatural energy surging through her, pulsating like the heartbeat of the earth itself. A soft light enveloped her, angels danced upon the air, the sweet scent of jasmine drifted from above. Was this divine visitation? The thought ignited both hope and fear in her heart. The next day, she gathered her prayer group. With bated breath, Mary shared her discovery. Could Thoth hold the key to healing? She asked, trembling between fervor and trepidation. The room buzzed. Some nodded eagerly, eyes wide with curiosity, while others scoffed and clung to their Bibles like shields. "Stick to what you know, Mary," someone hissed. Division throbbed in the air, as heated voices clashed and faith seemed as delicate as a spider. SWEB.AS David's condition continued to deteriorate, despair wrapped around Mary, squeezing out every bit of hope. One night, shadows crept deeper into her mind, sowing seeds of doubt. Was she being foolish? Where was God in her desperate search for answers? Voices from within and outside pressed upon her. With a breath that trembled with prayer, she gathered herself for the healing service at St. Michael's, a ritual warm with expectancy but thick with skepticism. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue the sanctuary filled with whispers and prayers, the congregation's hearts swelling like incense above their heads. Mary, her voice quivering yet resolved, raised her hands to the heavens and called upon both St. Jude and Thoth. As her voice soared in a crescendo of anguish and supplication, an electric hush enveloped the room. The organist paused as if awaiting a signal from the heavens. Just then, a blinding light burst through the windows, illuminating her son's face as he lay still at home, gasping. Mary felt a ripple of energy, the air thickened, almost palpable. In that sacred moment, a collective gasp echoed through the church as pulsing warmth enveloped her heart. All eyes turned to the altar, beckoning with a command greater than mere authority, and then a voice broke the silence, a whisper from beyond, "Rise." David opened his eyes, the shocking spark of a miracle ignited the church, transforming skepticism into elation. Gasps turned into cheers as the congregation witnessed her son, once a frail figure, now standing in radiant health. Tears of joy cascaded down Mary's cheeks, embracing not just her son, but every soul in the sanctuary. Hope had become tangible. As the village embraced this extraordinary healing, hearts fluttered with the same question: was it St. Jude's intercession or Thoth's wisdom that had drawn forth such divine mercy? The air trembled with the fervor of their shared faith and the unresolved mystery that loomed. Mary stood, a joyful yet contemplative figure, her heart aching with new questions. Was this to be merely a beginning? What further revelations would emerge from the blending of sacred beliefs and ancient wisdom? The congregation waited with bated breath, yearning for clarity as the holy journey continued. The weeks that followed David's miraculous recovery were filled with a sense of wonder and transformation. The village, once heavy with despair, now buzzed with renewed faith and fervor. Mary felt an undertow of gratitude flow through her, as she watched her son regain strength and vitality. He was a young man truly reborn, his laughter echoing merrily through their home, piercing the fog of sorrow that had clung to her heart like a stubborn vine. Still, the question lingered like a gentle breeze, brushing against her soul: how had this healing come to pass? Was it a blend of prayers, the mysterious energy of Thoth, or the steadfast intercession of St. Jude? Each neighbor seemed to have a theory, a whisper of divine revelation that danced around the village. Conversations swirled, each one a colorful thread woven into a tapestry of faith. Mary found herself drawn back to that moment in the church, the blinding light, the stillness, the whisper of "Rise." It echoed in her heart like a sacred hymn. That night, she sat by her window, gazing up at the stars that twinkled like divinely scattered treasures across the velvet sky. "What are you telling me, Lord?" she breathed, her heart open, yearning for answers. Suddenly, as if responding to her plea, a thought emerged: what if this miraculous healing was a call to deeper understanding? Perhaps it was not just about David, but about the intertwining of faiths, of different streams of belief flowing into one river of grace. She remembered the way the prayer group had divided, some uplifted by the prospect of new wisdom while others clung firmly to their traditions. Could both pathways lead to the same divine? Determined to explore this further, Mary invited her prayer group back to St. Michael's for a special gathering. The air buzzed with anticipation as she encouraged everyone to share their perspectives on the incident. "What if we seek the truth together?" she proposed, her voice warm and inviting. "What if Thoth's wisdom and our faith in St. Jude are two sides of the same sacred coin?" As voices exchanged, a mosaic of insights blossomed. Touching stories filled the sanctuary, tales of old miracles, encounters of ethereal light, and moments of quiet revelation that transcended earthly understanding. Hope rekindled as hands were clasped in unity, hearts open to the possibilities beyond their previous confines. Then, a gentle but firm voice rose: a new visitor, an elderly man with silver hair and bright, watchful eyes. "We must not find division where God wants harmony," he proclaimed. "Every culture carries wisdom, each experience, a thread woven in the divine plan. Are we not all pilgrims journeying toward the same light?" That simple yet profound statement pierced the air, igniting a ripple of agreement. Mary marveled at the connections forming, like roots intertwining beneath the surface of faith. Yet, somewhere in her heart, the shadows of doubt lingered. What if their exploration led to turbulent waters? As the meeting concluded with renewed determination, Mary's spirit was still heavy with the unshakable presence of uncertainty. A potent feeling arose within her. What will unfold as we venture deeper into this sacred journey? She wondered. As night fell, she found herself standing alone once more, enveloped in silence, her heart beating in tandem with the mysteries of the universe. Would she step into this unfolding journey with the congregation, embracing what it might reveal? The air crackled with anticipation, the divine interweaving of faith beckoned with heavy elegance, and so, as the first stars twinkled in the twilight, Mary readied herself for what lay ahead: a journey that promised revelation and a deeper understanding of the miraculous. Would the threads of faith blend to reveal an even greater truth? The day following the gathering, the village found itself wrapped in a shimmering cloak of hope. Mary awoke with a heart buoyant with expectation. Sunlight streamed into her room, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air like invisible spirits rejoicing around her. She sensed that today would be a day of unfolding, a day of revelation. David appeared at breakfast, a vibrant smile spreading across his face. "I had the most extraordinary dream last night, Mum," he said, his eyes aglow with excitement. Mary leaned in, her heart fluttering. "What was it, love?" she asked, curious. "I was in a vast, open field, and I could see people from all walks of life. They were all holding lanterns, lighting the way for each other. It felt like we were part of some great cosmic dance, connected by threads of light." His voice trailed off, and for a moment, the room was infused with a sacred silence. Mary's spirit stirred. She couldn't help but connect his dream to the gathering last night. "Perhaps it is true, David. We are sharing this light, this hope, and it is meant for everyone," she whispered, a tear of joy mingling with her smile. Inspired, Mary felt a pressing urge to organize another meeting. This one would be different, she mused. It was time to invite the wider community, neighboring villages, seekers from far and wide, to join them in seeking the truth together. She envisioned a festival of faith, where beliefs could intertwine and wisdom could flow freely like a river through the fields. The sun hung high as the day of the gathering arrived. The air thrummed with anticipation as villagers set up stalls filled with fragrant bread, vibrant flowers, and candles that flickered in the gentle breeze. Music wafted through the air, and laughter mingled with the sounds of nature, birds chirping, children playing, and the rustling leaves adding to the melody of life. As people began to gather in the church, the atmosphere transformed. Mary felt a holy vibration rising among them. Friends greeted friends, clasping hands, and exchanging smiles filled with newfound hope. They came from diverse paths, drawn by the promise of unity. In the midst of this celebration, the elderly man from before stood once again, his presence commanding attention. "Let us open our hearts," he began, his voice steady and rich. "Let us share our stories, our miracles, our struggles and victories. In vulnerability, we find strength, in diversity, we find unity." With that simple invitation, the floodgates opened. Tales flowed like living water, stories of healing, dreams, and divine encounters. A woman spoke of her prayers answered through unexpected kindness from strangers. A man recounted a moment where fear turned to faith at the edge of despair. Each voice was a note in a divine symphony, creating a beautiful tapestry of shared experiences. Yet amid the joy, Mary felt a twinge of uncertainty. What if, in the midst of all this shared faith, doubt and discord crept in? What if the differences overshadowed the common light they were striving to recognize? As if sensing her unease, David took her hand. "Do not fear, Mom. This is just the beginning. As we walk in the light together, we will find clarity," he assured her, his faith radiating warmth. Encouraged by her son's words, Mary took a deep breath and joined in the exchanges, hopeful and open. "What if we are all called to this sacred dance?" she mused aloud. "What if it leads us to a deeper understanding of love?" As the gathering blossomed into night, the stars blinked knowingly overhead. In that sacred space, a profound realization surfaced: this journey was not solely about finding answers, but rather embracing the questions, the mysteries, and the communion of spirit that connected them all. As the candles flickered, casting a warm glow, Mary felt the heaviness within her begin to lift. But even as hope emerged, there lay beneath it the thrill of uncertainty. What long-hidden truths awaited to be revealed as the river of faith continued to flow? How deep would it carry them on this extraordinary journey? The air buzzed with the holy laughter of angels as the gathering swelled into a heartfelt embrace of unity. Yet one question lingered: were they prepared to face the storm that might rise as they ventured deeper into the unknown? The dawn broke with a soft glow, the sun stretching its arms wide as the village stirred awake. Mary stood by her window, taking in the beauty all around her. The air had a crispness that hinted at change, and deep inside, she sensed that this would not just be any day, it was a stepping stone toward something greater. The gathering had ignited a spark. People had left with their hearts lighter, yet the calling grew stronger within her. She recalled David's dream, the lanterns illuminating the darkness. Each one was a story, a miracle waiting to be uncovered. As she prepared for the day ahead, Mary's thoughts drifted back to the elderly man's words. His voice had woven through the fabric of the night, and now it echoed within her, a gentle reminder of their shared journey. "Let us open our hearts." The phrase lingered, almost alive, urging her to act on the inspiration bubbling inside. After breakfast, she gathered a few villagers, those whose faith intertwined closely with hers. They met at the edge of the village, the community garden nearby bursting with colors. "We must continue this movement," Mary said, her voice laden with urgency. "Let us spread our light beyond these borders. Let us invite more voices, more stories." Her companions agreed, each one recognizing the pull of the divine calling. They brainstormed ideas: a marketplace of wisdom, a celebration of healing through shared experiences. As they spoke, the excitement swelled, palpable and vibrant. They drew plans for inviting individuals from all walks of life, sharing hope through tales of healing and divine grace. As they dispersed to prepare, Mary's heart raced. With each step, a flicker of anxiety intertwined with joy danced in her spirit. Could they truly bring together so many differing beliefs? What if their sincerity was met with doubt or judgment? She prayed silently for guidance, seeking clarity in the approaching whirlwind of activity. The next few days turned into a flurry of activity. Banners were crafted and recipes were exchanged like treasured gifts. The entire village united with purpose, ready to welcome neighbors near and far. Each detail brought forth an indescribable sense of togetherness. They were all woven into the same tapestry. On the day of the festival, Mary stood at the entrance of the village. The buzz of laughter and chatter enveloped her like a warm embrace. People arrived with baskets, full of food, and hearts, overflowing with joy. Each newcomer carried not just offerings but stories, and within those stories, the collective light began to glow brighter. Amidst this joyful chaos, Mary noticed a woman standing apart, her expression one of deep contemplation. She felt urged to approach her. "Hello, dear," Mary invited warmly. "What brings you here today?" The woman, her eyes glistening, spoke of loss of a beloved child taken too soon. Mary listened intently, her heart pained but softened by the connection they shared. "I come here searching for solace," she whispered. "A way to heal." Tears pooled in Mary's eyes as she wrapped her arms around the woman. "In our stories, we'll find healing," she said softly. "We will light the path to hope together." As others joined, intertwining their narratives with warmth, something shifted in the atmosphere. It was like an invisible thread began connecting hearts, a fabric of love and understanding stretched tight with the intention of healing. A quiet reverence fell over them, yet, beneath this beautiful emergence of community, bold questions loomed. Would they find peace in their sharing? What truths could emerge from their combined experiences? Were they truly ready to delve into the depths of pain that lay buried in some hearts? The gathered souls shared stories, laughter mingling with tears, as the sun dipped low in the sky. It was just the beginning, but the air hummed with a promise. As the stars began to twinkle above, Mary gazed around at the shining faces, feeling the weight of the unknown pressing in. What miracles would unfold as they opened their hearts wider? What divine truths waited in the shadows? The answers hung, tantalizingly close, inviting them to step forward into a bold journey of discovery. As night fell, a profound quiet wrapped around the village like a gentle blanket. The festival's laughter softened into whispers, and the flickering lantern seemed to dance in tune with the pulse of unity that had grown strong throughout the day. Mary, now surrounded by newfound friends and kindred souls, felt an inexplicable warmth spreading through her, igniting a flame of hope within. "Listen," said a voice from the circle, a man named Samuel, his eyes alight with enthusiasm. "Each of us carries a gift to share. What if we use this gathering not just to tell our stories, but to light a path for others? A chain of healing that stretches far beyond us." Mary nodded, her heart swelling at the possibility. "What do you mean?" she asked, drawing closer. "What if we formed a chain of light? Each story could be linked together, a thread of hope. When one story is told, it lights the next, connecting us all in a way that transcends our pain," Samuel proposed, excitement dancing in his voice. The idea resonated deeply within her. The imagery of interconnected lanterns flickering together felt powerful. She understood now each person's experience could be a miracle waiting to illuminate another's path. As they created a circle, Mary took a deep breath and shared her own story, the loss of a beloved sibling years before, the heartache she had never truly faced. She watched as vulnerability etched itself on the faces around her. She was met with nods of empathy, gentle encouragement in their gazes. With each poignant story shared, the atmosphere thickened with something divine, a palpable presence they could all feel. Laughter burst forth like blossoms, mingling with tears as stories of love, loss, and healing intertwined. A father spoke of the challenges he had faced after losing his job, a newlywed couple shared their struggles with doubt, and an elder recounted his journey through illness, each revelation nudging the group closer together. but amidst the voices, Mary noticed a stillness in the woman she had first approached, the one searching for solace. Her face, though initially shrouded in grief, had begun to soften with each passing narrative. Mary's heart whispered to her, urging her to reach deeper. "Would you like to share?" Mary asked gently, hoping to create a safe space where the woman's pain could unfold. With hesitant fingers, the woman finally took a step forward. I don't know if my story matters," she stammered, but Mary grasped her hand, affirming her place within their circle. "Your story is as sacred as the rest," Mary declared. "We hold each other's South stories close. Please, we want to hear." In that moment, the woman began to speak, her voice shaking but growing stronger with each word. She shared tales of her child, of memories that filled her heart with light and darkness. As she spoke, tears streamed down her cheeks. Yet, within those tears, Mary saw a transformation taking root, a release of burdens carried too long. The moment her words faded into silence, the group collectively held their breath, feeling the weight of her vulnerability. Then, one by one, hands reached out and enveloped her in a hug, arms forming a cocoon of love around her. Mary felt that same divine thread weaving tighter among them, connecting their hearts with a sacred truth. Would they emerge stronger? Would they find resolve as they opened their wounds together? The night whispered promises, and Mary gazed up at the stars, wondering what roles they would play in this unfolding narrative. As the group sat in sacred silence, a soft wind caressed their cheeks, as if heaven itself were weeping joyfully with them. But what new journeys awaited them in the days to come? What unseen forces were at work, waiting to guide their next steps? The tension of divine mystery hummed in the air, inviting them forward into realms unknown. As dawn's light kissed the village, a golden hue spilled across the gathered circle. The tranquility of night met the promise of a new day. Mary awoke from a peaceful sleep, her spirit rejuvenated by the shared experiences of the evening before. It felt as though their hearts had been stitched together within the fabric of that sacred space, each person a vital thread in the tapestry of hope. She looked around, catching the sight of her companions, still wrapped in the warmth of the night's revelations. Samuel, the one who had sparked the idea of the chain of light, was deep in conversation with the elder. Mary heard snippets of laughter, the gentle probing of questions, and the unfolding of further stories. It was a symphony, a beautiful blend of voices, rising in joyful harmony. "Good morning," Mary greeted, her tone bright with anticipation. "How did you sleep after such a soulful evening?" "Better than I have in years," the elder replied, his face crinkling into a soft smile. "I had visions of light and healing. It's like the burdens of my past are finally being lifted." Joy surged through Mary. She could see it in each expression around her, they were all touched by something greater than themselves. Yet, deep within her, there was a stirring as well, a gentle consciousness whispering that their journey was far from over. As breakfast was shared, laughter danced around the table. The stories from the night previous had woven an invisible thread between them. But Mary felt a pull towards the woman from last night who had offered her fragile story like a gift. Her heart yearned to know if the seeds planted would blossom into fruit. "May I seek her out?" Mary asked Samuel, who was busy filling his plate with fresh bread and honey. "Of course," he encouraged with a nod, eyes sparkling. "We are meant to share every burden, every joy." Mary stood, brushing crumbs from her hands as she walked to where the woman was seated, her gaze fixed on the horizon. "May I sit?" The woman looked up, her eyes reflecting both gratitude and vulnerability. "Of course, Mary. Thank you for being so kind to me last night." "I saw the light in you," Mary replied earnestly, "the light that longs to share and heal." "How are you today?" With a sigh, the woman found her voice. "It feels strange, this awakening. I've carried my sorrow for so long. I don't know what to do with it now. It's like a burst of rain after a long drought, but also a fear of storms." Mary considered her words, a sense of solemnity washing over her. What if we together hold that fear? What if we embrace it as sacred, as part of our journey? You, like each of us, are not alone in this. The woman fidgeted with her hands. What if it overwhelms me again? The air hummed with tension. Mary paused, drawing on her well of faith. What if it leads you to something deeper? What if the storm carries you into the heart of your healing? Imagine the release and renewal that follows. In that moment, a slight smile broke through, inching closer to hope. Christ's love found a way into her heart, illuminating the shadows. They shared quiet words, exchanging whispers of courage and faith in binding their stories together. As they stood on the brink of new beginnings, the sun fully rose, casting warm rays across the village. A sense of divine purpose shimmered in the atmosphere, signaling that their path was unfolding beyond their understanding. With each step, they would nurture the beautiful connections formed, fanning the flames of hope together, as practically as they shared their pain, and as they turned back towards the gathering, Mary's heart raced with anticipation. What lessons lay ahead as they ventured forth together? Would the storms they braved bring clarity or chaos? In the quiet, that divine mystery lingered still, inviting them onward into the day's embrace. Mary felt the sun's warmth envelop her like a soft embrace. She glanced back at the gathering, where laughter, the symphony of life, floated through the air. A sense of urgency grew within her, a divine nudge that there were more hearts to reach, more stories to uncover. Let us walk, she suggested to the woman, whose name was now etched in Mary's heart as Elara. The two ventured away from the group, meandering along a path embraced by vibrant wildflowers. What do you hope to find today? Elara asked, curiosity and apprehension dancing in her eyes. Perhaps the courage to face our storms, Mary replied. Or maybe a deeper understanding of this light we've experienced. It moves through us, doesn't it? Yes, it does, Elara said thoughtfully. It feels both like a blessing and a burden, like holding something precious yet fragile. Mary nodded, feeling the weight of shared understanding. Together, they walked in silence for a while, letting the whispers of creation fill the spaces between them. Birds flitted overhead, singing songs of joy and hope, and the gentle rustle of leaves swayed as if encouraging their bond. After some time, they arrived at a small clearing where a bubbling brook danced over smooth stones. A sense of calm settled around them. Water is healing, Elara said, captivated by the brook's melody. It cleanses and revives life. I can almost feel its energy. Let us sit by it, then, Mary suggested, feeling the pull of the place, a sanctuary for the weary soul. They settled onto a sun-warmed rock, close enough to dip their fingers into the cool water. Can we talk about your fears? Mary ventured gently. Elara hesitated but then looked into the brook, as if seeking answers from the flowing water. I fear being weakened by my past, that my pain will resurface and overshadow every step I wish to take. Mary's heart ached for her. Elara, in holding on to our fears, we often miss the beauty of what lies ahead. Healing doesn't mean we forget. It means we become stronger through it. Yes, but what if strength means confronting my deepest wounds? Elara's voice trembled, the reality of her truth hanging in the air between them. Then let us face them together, Mary said, her voice steady yet soft. You don't need to walk this path alone. In that moment, a rush of warmth enveloped them both, as if the spirit of their connection was woven into the very fabric of the brook's song. Shivers of grace coursed through Mary as she felt Elara's hand in hers, their fingers intertwining, their fears tangling with hope. I believe we are called to share these burdens, to share our light. But how can I share light when I feel so clouded? Elara replied, her brows knitted. Look around, Mary gestured at the shimmering brook, the wildflowers, and the radiant sun. Every part of creation has faced its struggles but persists in blooming. You too are meant to flourish, even in the shadows. A tear slid down Elara's cheek as she looked into the brook, catching her reflection in the water. Her heart stirred with a flicker of belonging. I want to believe, she whispered. Then let us breathe that belief into existence, Mary encouraged. Let us write our stories into the waters of this brook. Our pain, our hope, our journeys. With newfound resolve, they dipped their hands into the cool water and began tracing symbols against the stones, each stroke representing a part of their story, each shape a release of what had held them back. As they crafted their symbols, a gentle breeze wrapped around them, stirring the air with whispers of encouragement. The brook bubbled joyfully, as if affirming their pact, their promise to embrace healing together. In that moment of sacred creation, the skies above darkened slightly, as if echoing the tension of their unfolding journeys. A question lingered in the air, unspoken yet profound: what storms would they face as they stepped deeper into their truth? And with every breath, the dawn of revelation beckoned them, urging them forward into the mysteries of healing yet uncharted. As the sun continued its slow descent, heavy clouds rolled in, casting a shadow over the brook. Mary and Alara remained at the water's edge, their fingers still tracing the patterns they had crafted. The sudden change in atmosphere was not lost on them. It felt as if the very heavens were echoing their internal turmoil. Perhaps Alara began hesitantly, the clouds mirror my fears. They come unexpectedly, just when I feel I'm about to break free. Mary thought of the stories she had heard, how storms can bring renewal, how rainwater cleanses the earth. Storms are part of the journey, she said softly. They don't just threaten, they also nourish. Alara looked up, her eyes searching the sky. Nourish or drown? Sometimes it feels like there's no difference. In the silence that followed, the brook's melody mingled with the whispers of the trees, weaving a sacred tapestry of sound. Mary closed her eyes for a moment, opening her heart to the divine messages swirling around them, those gentle nudges of encouragement. Let us listen, Mary said, her voice soft yet resolute. As they sat in silence, it felt as if time itself dissolved. A sudden gust of wind rushed through the trees, causing the leaves to dance. In that moment, clarity washed over Mary like the water flowing beside them, each drop part of an ancient promise. Do you hear that? Mary whispered. The brook carries our stories. It flows, it endures, and it knows how to dance even in stormy weather. Alara breathed deeply, letting Mary's words settle upon her. How do you always seem to know the right thing to say? It's not me, Mary replied with a gentle smile. It's the love that connects us all, the divine thread woven through every moment. Believe that you too have this light within you. Alara's gaze landed on the water again, her heart beating in rhythm with the brook's flow. Can I let go of the past? Can I truly embrace this light? Her voice trembled, each word laced with uncertainty. You can, Mary affirmed, her own heart swelling with love for her friend. Our past shapes us, but it doesn't define us. Every experience is a stepping stone towards something beautiful. With each wave of courage, you can transform pain into purpose. Suddenly, a flash of lightning lit up the darkening sky. It was followed by a low rumble of thunder that seemed to echo Alara's heart. She froze, anxiety taking hold, memories of storms past flooding her mind. Breathe, Mary encouraged, tightening her grip on Alara's hand. We're here together. This storm is not a foe, but a cleansing force. As raindrops began to fall, creating ripples on the brook's surface, both women let the earth receive their shared burdens. Mary raised her face to the sky, inviting the rain to wash away her doubts just as it would nourish the land. I was once afraid of storms, Alara admitted, but now I want to stand in the rain. I want to feel its power, its freedom. With that declaration, Alara lifted her arms, surrendering to the droplets that fell around them. Mary joined her, feeling the exhilaration of embracing the storm. A smile spread across Alara's face, illuminating her features as the rain cascaded down, washing away the weight of her past fears. I didn't expect this, she laughed, joy bubbling up within her. It feels like a rebirth. Yes. Mary exclaimed, drenched and alive. This is a moment of divine activation. Just as the brook thrives in rain, so can you thrive amidst life's storms. The world around them brightened as the clouds parted, revealing the sun once more in a glorious embrace with the rain, their very own promise of transformation. In that sacred space, healing began to unfurl, but even as they reveled in this newfound light, a question echoed within Mary's heart: what would they find when they emerged on the other side of the storm? For in every ending, a new beginning whispered, longing to be discovered. As the rain continued to cascade around them, the air felt charged with energy, a holy vibrancy that echoed their fervent spirits. Mary and Alara stood amidst the downpour, hearts beating in unison, breathing in the fresh aroma of nature reborn. The world felt alive, a symphony of raindrops tapping a sacred rhythm on their skin. Alara turned her gaze to the brook, now swirling with muddy currents, but within those depths was a promise. "Do you think we're still the same women we were before all of this?" she questioned, her voice trembling yet steady with newfound courage. Mary smiled, remembering the gentle flow of water. "Just as the brook changes shape with every storm, we are sculpted by our experiences. What truly matters is how we choose to carry those changes forward." She paused, accepting the truth in her own words. "We are not defined by our struggles but rather by how we rise, how we soar." With each word, a fresh wave of understanding washed over Alara. "It's like the rain," she mused. "The storms can darken the skies, but they also bring life." "Exactly," Mary affirmed, the depth of their connection feeling palpable. "Each droplet serves a purpose, nurturing everything it touches. Just as storms prepare the earth for new growth, our challenges cultivate strength within us." Lightning brightened the sky again, illuminating the path ahead. Alara, no longer gripped by fear, felt a surge of excitement. What if this storm is only the beginning? What if the light is guiding us towards something extraordinary? As if in response to her question, a soft wind swirled around them, brushing against their skin like a whisper of encouragement. They both stood still a moment longer, captivated by the profound beauty of the moment. Hope and healing danced in the air, filling their hearts with a holy expectancy. "I can feel it," Alara breathed, her eyes radiant. "Something magnificent is on the horizon. It's almost tangible." Mary nodded, her own spirit ignited. "And as we embrace this moment, we open ourselves to receive even more. The possibilities are infinite when we step into the fullness of who we are meant to be." With determination, they took a step back from the bank and walked a bit farther away from the rushing brook. The rain began to ease, and in its quieting, a sense of peace settled around them. "Look," Mary said, pointing towards the edge of the clearing. A beautiful double rainbow arched across the sky, its colors vivid and alive against the remaining storm clouds. The sight filled their hearts with awe, a reminder of divine promises made and fulfilled. The rainbow became a metaphor, visible evidence of hope and love woven through their journey. "We are alive, we are transforming," Mary whispered, tears glistening with joy. "This is our covenant with the divine." "I want to embody that promise," Alara replied, her eyes glistening. "I want to carry this light within me, everywhere I go." With renewed purpose, they pledged to embrace the beauty of their own rebirth. They released the burdens they had clung to for too long, surrendering to the divine flow of grace. But even as they immersed themselves in this moment of joy, Alara felt a twinge of curiosity. "What else awaits us, Mary? Beyond this storm and this rainbow, what is the calling we are yet to discover?" As the last drops of rain fell, echoing her question, a gentle breeze rustled through the trees, as if the universe itself was holding its breath, waiting to reveal the next chapter of their story. The days that followed Mary and Alara's encounter with the storm glimmered with a new promise, a deeper understanding among the villagers. The festival of faith had woven its magic into their hearts. Each soul emerged carrying luminous threads of truth and interconnected tapestry shimmering in the sunlight. Mary felt lighter, her spirit buoyed by hope as she walked through the village, greeting neighbors with renewed joy. The miracle of healing had deepened their connections, forging a wellspring of inspiration from which many could drink. Conversations of faith and healing overflowed in the public squares, turning rumor into testimony, shadows into light. One afternoon, as Mary sat by the church's garden, her heart swelled with gratitude. Alara approached, her face radiant, her eyes sparkling with joyful revelation. "Mary, you won't believe the transformations happening within me. Each heartbeat feels like a song of freedom," she exclaimed, breathless from excitement. That's the beauty of embracing the storms, Mary replied with gentle assurance. You have embraced the light, Elara. What else are you discovering? Elara's expression brightened further. I've begun to share my story in the marketplace, inviting others to speak. It is like a chain reaction. Each person lights the next. Mary gasped softly, excitement tingling down her spine. The chain of light. She echoed, all washing over her. Together, we will illuminate our village. A tapestry coalesced in the days to come, voices blending into a unified song of healing. The church, once a place of solitary souls, blossomed into a gathering of diverse spirits, each adding layers of vibrancy to the emerging community of faith. One evening, under a canopy of stars, Mary felt a stirring within her, an urging to create a dedicated space for these stories to bloom. She gathered neighbors at the church. I propose a storytelling night and evening where our narratives of healing intertwine, she suggested, excitement buzzing in the air, whispers of agreement rippled through the room, and as laughter mingled with heartfelt responses, their hearts throbbed with unity. A newfound purpose enveloped them as if heaven itself was guiding their hands, and so, the night of storytelling arrived, packed with anticipation and warmth. The air shimmered with expectation as diverse souls filled the sanctuary. Children squealed with delight, their joyful chatter weaving a blanket of hope around the gathered flesh and spirit. Mary stepped forward, her heart swelling with purpose. Welcome, dear friends. Tonight, we share not just our words but our souls. Here, we light one another's paths. As stories flowed from humble lips, the spirit swelled within the room. A woman spoke of a daughter lost to illness, her grief punctuated by faint smiles, while a man recounted the miracle of rediscovering his faith after years of wandering. Laughter and tears mingled, a dance of emotions glowing among them. Suddenly, a familiar presence emerged from the back, a figure cloaked in silvery hair and wise eyes, the elderly man who had sparked their awakening. You are the hands of divine grace, he announced, his voice a gentle breeze stirring the hearts assembled. You have woven love into existence through your narratives. Do not underestimate that spark, it is the heartbeat of the divine. With those words, a tangible warmth enveloped the space, anchoring new intentions within each heart present. Mary sensed life blooming, as prayers spiraled upward, a golden tether of unity binding them all. That evening was but a glimpse, a prelude to the many sacred gatherings that would follow, where stories of healing became lanterns casting light in the dark. Elara emerged as a guiding force, her unwavering faith igniting sparks within many. It became a tradition the villagers met regularly to share their stories, to listen, to honor the beauty and complexity of their journeys. As the seasons turned, Mary marveled at how her village, transformed once a haven of solitary faith, now blossomed as a community flourishing on shared wisdom. They faced storms together, rejoiced in sunshine, and deepened their roots in the sacred truth of each other's lives. In this cocoon of love, Mary found herself changed. Each whisper of connection, each tear of remembrance was no longer a burden but a bridge leading to greater light. And as she looked around, she recognized a contagious glow lighting the village. The legacy they were cultivating together would ripple beyond their borders, inviting more souls to join their journey, the sacred dance of faith binding hearts across lands. At dawn one morning, as the sun painted the skies with golden hues, Mary stepped out of her home, breathing deeply. The air felt rich with possibility, electric with anticipation of what lay ahead. Lord, thank you for the gift of community, she whispered, her spirit alive with divine gratitude, and in that moment, unspoken, she knew in unity, they had discovered an eternal truth. Through their collective heart, they were not only a village but a congregation of hope, igniting light in every shadow. In embracing their stories and journeys, they had woven together an unbreakable fabric of faith. This was their beginning, a testimony to the power of belief, a light piercing through darkness, a divine invitation for all who were willing to join. Mary smiled, her heart warm, filled with the promise of their continued journey together. Now, beloved souls, this is your moment to take part in this journey. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive faith stories that will uplift your heart. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm with the light of healing and love. Comment your reactions and testimonies about this powerful ending. Your voice matters, and share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation of divine truth. You need to share. Don't wait even one more second. Be a true servant of God by supporting this channel through your actions. Together, let us illuminate the world.